Okay, we are live. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Vijana Ballabha Trivaradhari Vijana Ballabha Trivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today we read from Sri Caitanya-caritamrita. I was thinking we used to sing so many songs, devotional songs, which we don't hardly sing anymore. So I chose one. I'm going to put on the screen. I actually haven't sung this all the way through myself for a long time, but no, that's not the one. Sorry. Yes. This one. Ah. Yes. So I'm going to try to sing this. And so what we do is we read, sing the first four lines, and about several verses like this. No, no, no. Yeah, we'll do it because we can only see one screen at a time. So, yeah, and then Udila Aruna Pura Baba Jai Jamani Gora Amani Jage Vakata Sangmuha Loya Sate Kila Nagara Braje Tatai Tatai Vajalako Gana Gana Tare Jandero Premi Dala Dala Sonara Anga Charana Dupura Vaje Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolena Bolore Vadana Bore Vicheni Davashe Kalore Rati Divasha Sharira Saje Emana Durlaba Manava Deho Payaki Koro Bhavana Keho Evina Vajileya Shuddha Sutta Jagame Pori Belaje Udita Tapana Hoile Asta Dina Gela Vole Hoile Vyasta Tabikeno Eme Alas Hoy Nabaja Hridoya Raje Jivana Anicca Jana Hasar Tahena Vida Vipada Bar Namastraya Kori Chatane Tumi Takaha Apana Kaje Jivera Kalyana Sadhana Kam Jagate Asi E Madhuryanam Avidya Timira Tapana Rupe Gagane Virajaje Krishna Namashuddha Koriyapan Jarayo Bhakti Jarayo Bhakti Vinoda Pran Namabhina kichu nahiko aro choda bhuvana maje. Oh, I guess that was the end of it. Yes. Here's the translation. This is about, we're reading Caitanya-caritamrita, so this is about the Lord Chaitanya and his going out and Harinam Sankirtan. Translation is, when the rising sun appeared in the east, the jewel of the twice-born, Lord Gaurasundar, awakened, and taking his devotees with him, he went all over the countryside, towns and villages, and played the mridanga, and cymbals chimed in time. Lord Gauranga's shimmering golden features danced, and his footbells jingled. All the devotees chanted the names of Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, and Hari, their mouths being filled with vibrations. They would announce to the still sleeping people, "You spend your nights uselessly sleeping, on your days decorating your bodies. You have achieved such a rare human body, but you do not care for this gift. You remain not serving the darling of Yashoda, and slowly fall through your last moments to death. With every rising and setting of the sun, a day passes and is lost. And why do you remain idle and not serve the Lord of the heart? This temporary life is full of various miseries. Take shelter of the holy names as your only business. To penetrate the darkness of ignorance and bless everyone's heart, the holy name has arisen like the shining sun. Drink the pure nectar of the holy name. There is nothing but the name to be had in the 14 worlds. It has filled the soul of Bhaktivinoda Thakur." That's who wrote the song. It filled the soul of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So this is actually part one. There's just another song. Maybe next week we could do it. Oh, I don't see it here. Yeah, it's here. Jeev Jago. Anyway, that'll be another week because I don't have it written up here yet. So, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. So last week we're starting at the very beginning of the Caitanya-caritamrita again. But I don't have that volume in the paper, the book. So I'm reading from here for right now. We got up to we're starting on verse 20 of the Adi Lila, chapter 1. Chapter 1, verse 20. Grantera Arambe Kari Mangalacharna Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana. In the beginning of this narration, simply by remembering the spiritual master, the devotees of the Lord, and the personality of Godhead, I have invoked their benedictions. Tinera Smarane Haya Vigna Vinashana Anayashe Haya Nija Vanchita Purana. Such remembrance destroys all difficulties and very easily enables one to fulfill his own desires. Say Mangalacharana Haya Trivida Prakara Vastu Nirdesha Ashirvada Namaskara. The invocation involves three processes: defining the objective, offering benedictions, and offering obeisances. That's an invocation. The first two verses offer respectful obeisances, generally and specifically to the Lord, who is the object of worship. Tritiya shlokete kari vastura nirdesha yaha ha ite jani para tatwera udesha. In the third verse, I indicate the absolute truth, who is the ultimate substance. With such a description, one can visualize this supreme truth. Chaturta shokete kari jagate ashirvada sarvatra magiye Krishna Chaitanya prasada. In the fourth verse, I have invoked the benediction of the Lord upon all the world, praying to Lord Chaitanya for his mercy upon all. Se shloke kari bahya vavatara karana pancha shashta shloke kahi mula prayojana. In that verse, I have also explained the external reason for Lord Chaitanya's incarnation. But in the fifth and sixth verses, I have explained the prime reason for his advent. Echaya shoke kahi chaitanyera tattva ara pancha shoke nityanandera mahatva. In these 6 verses, I have described the truth about Lord Chaitanya, whereas in the next 5, I have described the glory of Lord Nityananda. Ara devi shloke advaita tattvatkina ara eka shloke pancha tattvera vyakyana. The next 2 verses describe the truth of Advaita Prabhu, and the following verse describes the Pancha Tattva, the Lord, his plenary portion, his incarnation, his energies, and his devotees. That means Pancha Tattva means all 5 of Chaitanya. There's a chapter in Caitanya-caritamrita called Lord Chaitanya in 5 features that'll be coming. Echoda shoke kare mangla charana tanhi madhye kahi sabha vastu nirupana. These 14 verses therefore offer auspicious invocations and describe the supreme truth. Shabha shrota vaishnavere kare namaskar e sabha shokera kare arta vichar. I offer my obeisances unto all my Vaishnav readers as I begin to explain the intricacies of all these verses. Sakala Vaishnava Shuna Kari Ekaman Chaitanya Krishnera Shastra Mata Nirupana. I request all my Vaishnav readers to read and hear with rapt attention this narration of Sri Krishna Chaitanya as inculcated in the revealed scriptures. Purport of Srila Prabhupada. Lord Chaitanya is the absolute truth, Krishna himself. This is substantiated by evidence from the authentic spiritual scriptures. Sometimes people accept a man as God on the basis of their whimsical sentiments and without reference to the revealed scriptures. But the author of Caitanya-caritamrita proves all his statements by citing the Shastras. Shastra means the scripture. Thus, he establishes that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna Guru Bhakta Shakti Avatara Prakash Krishna E Chaya Rupe Karena Vilas. Lord Krishna enjoys by manifesting himself as a spiritual master. The devotees, the diverse energies, the incarnations, and the plenary portions, they are all 6 in one. Echaya tattvera kare charana vandana Pratame Shamanye-kari Mangalacharana. I therefore worship the lotus feet of the six diversities of the one truth by invoking their benedictions. Vande Guru Isha Bhaktan Isham Ishva Avatar. Vande Guru Isha Bhaktan Isham Ishavatarakam Tat Prakasham Chakti Krishna Chaitanya Sanghakam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual masters, the devotees of the Lord's incarnations, his plenary portions, his energies, and the primeval Lord himself, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Purport. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has composed the Sanskrit verse for the beginning of his book, and now he will explain it in detail. He offers his respectful obeisances to the six principles of the Absolute Truth. Gurun is plural in number because anyone who gives spiritual instructions based on the revealed scriptures is accepted as a spiritual master. Although others give help in showing the way to beginners, the guru who first initiates one with the Mahamantra is known as the initiator. And the saints who give instructions for progressive advancement in Krishna consciousness are called instructing spiritual masters. The initiating and instructing spiritual masters are equal and identical manifestations of Krishna, although they have different dealings. Their function is to guide the conditioned souls back to Godhead. Therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami accepted Nityananda and the six Goswamis in the category of Guru. Isha Bhaktan refers to the devotees of the Lord like Sri Srivas and all other such followers who are the energy of the Lord and who are qualitatively non-different from him. Qualitatively non-different. Ishavatarakan refers to acharyas like Advaita Prabhu, who is an avatar of the Lord. Tat Prakashan indicates the direct manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nityananda Prabhu, and the initiating spiritual master. Tat Shakti refers to the spiritual energies, Shaktis, of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gadadhar, Damodar, Jagadananda belong to this category of internal energy. The six principles are differently manifested, but all equally worshipable. Krishnadas Kaviraj begins by offering his obeisances unto them to teach us the method of worshiping Lord Chaitanya. The external potency of the Godhead, called Maya, can never associate with the Lord, just as darkness can never remain in the presence of light. Yet darkness, being but an illusory and temporary covering of light, has no existence independent of light. Mantra Guru Arayata Shiksha Guru Gan Tanhara Charane Age Kariye Vandan. I first offer my obeisances, my respectful obeisances, at the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual master and all my instructing spiritual masters. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami in his thesis, Bhakti Sandarbha 202, has stated that the uncontaminated devotional service is the objective of pure Vaishnavas, and that one has to execute such service in the association of other devotees. Association of devotees comes up again. By associating with devotees of Lord Krishna, one develops a sense of Krishna consciousness and thus becomes inclined toward the loving service of the Lord. This is the process of approaching the Supreme Lord by gradual appreciation in devotional service. If one desires unalloyed devotional service, one must associate with devotees of Sri Krishna, for by such association only can a conditioned soul achieve a taste for transcendental love and thus revive his eternal relationship with Godhead in a specific manifestation and in terms of the specific transcendental mellow rasa that one has eternally inherent in him. So we have to stay in the association of devotees. Something I say almost every day. We have to remain in the association of devotees. It's required, otherwise we cannot advance on the spiritual path. If one develops love for Krishna by Krishna conscious activities, one can know the supreme absolute truth. But he who tries to understand God simply by logical arguments will not succeed, nor will he get a taste for unalloyed devotion. The secret is that one must substantially listen to those who know perfectly the science of God, and one must begin the mode of service regulated by the preceptor. A devotee already attracted by the name, form, qualities, etc. of the Supreme Lord may be directed to his specific manner of devotional service. He need not waste time in approaching the Lord with logic. I mean, so there's bhakti, jnana, there's jnana. So we don't want to follow the path of jnana. We're already on the path of bhakti. So in jnana, it's like it says here, you're sitting down, you're analyzing, you're speculating, trying to figure out what is God like. But we can understand what a God is like simply by practicing devotional service. So why go to jhana if you're already on the level of bhakti? A devotee already attracted by the name, form, qualities, etc. of the Supreme Lord may be directed to his specific manner of devotional service. He need not waste time in approaching the Lord through logic. The expert spiritual master knows well how to engage his disciples' energy in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, and thus he engages a devotee in a specific devotional service according to his special tendency. A devotee must have only one initiating spiritual master, because in the scriptures, acceptance of more than one is always forbidden. There's no limit, however, to the number of instructing spiritual masters one may accept. Generally, a spiritual master who constantly instructs a disciple in spiritual science becomes his initiating spiritual master later on. What verse? It's a purport. Yes. Purport for chapter 1, verse 35. So, one initiating guru, and potentially many instructing spiritual masters. There's a Diksha guru. Diksha means the initiating spiritual master, and Shiksha guru. Shiksha guru is the instructing spiritual master. So there can be many. Giving instruction here, you can hear so many recordings in person from so many other devotees all over ISKCON about this knowledge. So there can be many instructing spiritual masters, but only one initiating spiritual master. And the only time there's an exception to that is maybe you've got, well, actually there's no real exception. There's first initiation you get, usually second initiation is given by the same spiritual master you get first from, but if somehow that Diksha Guru who gave first initiation is no longer present, when it comes time for second initiation, then some other arrangement has to be made. So in that sense, you might. But as far as the Diksha, actually can only be one spiritual master, which is what we're reading here. One should always remember that a person who is reluctant to accept a spiritual master and be initiated is sure to be baffled in his endeavor to go back home, back to Godhead. One who is not properly initiated may present himself as a great devotee, but in fact he is sure to encounter many stumbling blocks on his path of progress towards spiritual realization, with the result that he must continue his term of material existence without relief. Such a helpless person is compared to a ship without a rudder, for such a ship can never reach its destination. The rudder, of course, steers the ship. So without a spiritual master to give guidance, then we're lost. It is imperative, therefore, that one accept a spiritual master if he at all desires to gain the favor of the Lord. The service of the spiritual master is essential. If there is no chance to serve the spiritual master directly, a devotee should serve him by remembering his instructions. There is no difference between the spiritual master's instructions and the spiritual master himself. In his absence, therefore, his words of direction should be the pride of the disciple. If one thinks that he is above consulting anyone else, including a spiritual master, he is at once an offender at the lotus feet of the Lord. Such an offender can never go back to Godhead. It is imperative that a serious person accept a bona fide spiritual master in terms of the Shastric injunctions. Srila Jiva Goswami advises that one not accept a spiritual master in terms of heredity, hereditary, or customary social and ecclesiastical conventions. One should simply try to find a genuinely qualified spiritual master for actual advancement in spiritual understanding. So you see how important accepting spiritual master is. And if we're thinking that I'm so smart, I'm so smart I can figure everything out, I don't need anyone to tell me what to do, in spiritual life that will never happen. You won't progress. Just like if you go in the school, the classroom, and you go there and the professor's speaking, and you're thinking, I know more than my professor. What does this guy know? He can't teach me anything. I know more than he does. Well, you're certainly not going to learn anything, and you probably don't know more than the professor knows. So same thing, if one is not willing to accept spiritual master, then he cannot advance in spiritual life. And even if someone was really, really smart and maybe otherwise qualified, Krishna wants that we accept the spiritual master. And so Krishna will not allow us to advance in spiritual life if we have that attitude of rejecting Guru. He just won't allow it. Ultimately, we are dependent on Lord Chaitanya's and Lord Krishna's mercy and blessings, and we're being told right here that if we actually want to advance in spiritual life, we have to be in a humble mood, accepting the spiritual master. And of course, we may not be at one point in time officially initiated, but we are, just like Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON, founder, Acharya, preeminent, we could say preeminent Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru Nitai, Shiksha Radha, Braja Vihari, Jagannath, Balaram, Lady Subhadra, Munda Shikadev, Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. Just like we say Srila Prabhupada, no, we don't know nothing, we just say, but Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON is the founder Acharya, and he's also the preeminent Shiksha Guru. Preeminent means that means that all the knowledge that we have, all the knowledge we're reading here, all the knowledge we have that we are trying to present to others, we've gotten that from Srila Prabhupada, who of course has gotten it down through the disciplic succession. So if we're accepting Srila Prabhupada in that capacity, and in due course of time, if we're not already initiated, accepting someone who will be representative of Srila Prabhupada as initiating guru, then we can advance nicely in spiritual life. If we're thinking that I know more than everyone, then we have no chance, because Krishna will not allow us to. Krishna says if one thinks that if one says that he is my devotee, he's not my devotee. If one says he's the devotee of my devotee, then he is actually my devotee. So that means accepting spiritual master who's representing Krishna. We cannot jump over the present existing living guru, and either a Shiksha or Diksha guru. We cannot jump over such a person to jump to someone else. That's the whole Ritvik thing that we can talk more about later. We cannot jump over the current gurus say if I decided we would just be saying this nice song by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So if someone thinks, oh, I really like that song, I think I'm going to accept Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur as my initiating spiritual master. You can't do it. It's not allowed. It's against the scriptures, and it's just not allowed. We cannot do that. But we go more into that another day. So let's just read on here. Bhagavan era bhakta yata shrivasa pradana tansabara pada padme sahasra pranama. There are innumerable devotees of the Lord, of whom Srivas Thakur is the foremost. I offer my respectful obeisances thousands of times unto their lotus feet. Advaita Acharya Prabhura Angshta Avatara Tanra Pade Padme Koti Pranati Amara. Advaita Acharya is the Lord's partial incarnation, and therefore I offer my obeisances millions of times at his lotus feet. Nityananda Raya Prabhura Swarupa Prakash Tanra Pade Padma Vando Yanra Munidas. Srila Nityananda Ram is a plenary manifestation of the Lord, and I have been initiated by him. This is Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj is speaking here. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. Gadadhara Panditadi Prabhura Nija Shakti Tansabara Charine Mora Sahasra Pranati. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the internal potencies of the Lord, of whom Sri Gadadhar Prabhu is the foremost. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Swayam Bhagavan Tanhara Padara Vinde Ananta Praman. Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the personality of Godhead himself, and therefore I offer innumerable prostration at his lotus feet. Savaran me prabhure kariya namaskar echaya teno yaiche kariye vichar. Having offered obeisances unto the Lord and his associates, all his associates, I shall now try to explain the 6 diversities in one purport. There are many unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all of whom are considered associates surrounding the Lord. Krishna should be worshipped with his devotees. The diverse principles are therefore the eternal paraphernalia through which the absolute truth can be approached. Yajapi Amara Guru Caitanya Radas Tatapi Janiye Ami Tanhara Prakash. Although I know that my spiritual master is a servitor of Sri Chaitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. He's referring to Lord Nityananda, who is actually a plenary. Plenary means all the powers. So Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are God. So they have, one has the same, all the powers and energies and so on of the other. So that's what he's saying here. There's a purport, I should. Purport. Every living entity is essentially a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the spiritual master is also his servant. Still, the spiritual master is a direct manifestation of the Lord. With this conviction, a disciple can advance in Krishna consciousness. The spiritual master is non-different from Krishna because he is a manifestation of Krishna. Okay, so there's another aspect that I wasn't referring to. Lord Nityananda, who is Balaram himself, the first direct manifestation or expansion of Krishna, is the original spiritual master. He helps Lord Krishna in his pastimes, and he is a servant of the Lord. Every living entity is eternally a servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and therefore the spiritual master cannot be other than a servant of Lord Chaitanya. The spiritual master's eternal occupation is to expand the service of the Lord by training disciples in a service attitude. A spiritual master never poses as the Supreme Lord himself. He is considered a representative of the Lord. The revealed scriptures prohibit one's pretending to be God. Revealed scriptures prohibit one's pretending to be God. But a bona fide spiritual master is a most faithful and confidential servant of the Lord, and therefore deserves as much respect as Krishna. So we can't pretend to be God, but the spiritual master is such a representative of Krishna that he is to be respected as much as Krishna. This is a very important principle in spiritual life. And because the spiritual master too has, well, we're saying this has come a few times in the last days. Spiritual master is an acharya. What are the qualifications of acharya? We'll get this. 3 qualifications of an acharya.
Teaching.
Teaching what?
Teaching the principles, the philosophy
of Krishna consciousness. But where has he got? Where has he gotten it from?
From the disciplic succession.
Okay, so he's teaching it. He's
following it as a living example, and we receive this knowledge from the authoritative from the disciplic succession.
Yeah, so he receives it from the disciplic succession. He's teaching by his words, and he's teaching by showing by example the three qualifications of an acharya. And in that way, the spiritual master is considered to be to be respected as much as God, because he is both by his words and by his example, he is fully representing the Supreme Lord. Srila Prabhupada gives the example of the formally, I don't know if this system all exists now. There was the king would be somewhere, and the representative of the king in some other land was called the viceroy. There's the roy or rai, the king, and the viceroy meant representative of the king. And that viceroy was given all respect of the king, and the viceroy, if he was being the representative of the king, he would also receive a lot of gifts, donations, and things like that. But he could not. But those things that he received were not for him; they were he was accepting them on behalf of the king, like that. So the same way, we offer so much service in various ways to the spiritual master, and by that service, we are pleasing Krishna. But the spiritual master never accepts that service for his own, we say, sense gratification. He's accepting. We offer every day. We offer our respectful obeisances. We sing Guru Puja song, and we bow down. We pay our obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, like that. Some people would say, "Oh, you're worshiping a man?" No, you're worshiping a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he is giving us knowledge of God. He's giving us guidance how to come back to God, and he's actually, even at the time of initiation, first initiation, he's arranging. He's, by his blessings, all of our sinful activities, karma, and all of that is being removed. Srila Prabhupada says that at the time of first initiation, this happens. So many ways, as the spiritual master is as representative of God, he is giving us so much blessings that we need in order to advance on the spiritual path. So the spiritual master is to be worshipped not as God, but with all the respect of God. And if a spiritual master or someone who's is in that position and starts accepting things for their own material enjoyment, separate from the service of God, then there is a problem. There's a big problem, and he cannot remain in that position. But Srila Prabhupada, we saw, he had as this kind, the movement spread more and more, Srila Prabhupada, there was a lot of money, Lakshmi, coming in through ISKCON. There are many temples, there are many followers like that. But Srila Prabhupada never for a moment thought that these are for me to enjoy. The money, he said, this has to be every penny, every farthing, as they would say in other countries, it needs to be used in the service of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada was very, very careful about spending money, and that it's not used for material enjoyment. And he never took advantage or exploited in any way his disciples, which we cannot say for some people who took positions of so-called gurus out there. I mean, outside of ISKCON. Well, sometimes we have problems inside too. And ended up having a lot of problems and falling down with disciples, and all kinds of things were happening. But Srila Prabhupada, as perfect representative of Krishna, he accepted all these things, but he never exploited anyone. He never misspent any money. He used everything 100% in Krishna service. So perfect example acting as Krishna's representative. Maybe I should. Are there any questions, comments? See if anyone. No, I was trying to see on the. Sometimes somebody sends a message or a question or something here. Yeah. I'm in here. Oh no, I have to type each one up. Yeah. I have only one so far. This is the beginning. Yeah. I didn't get the translation in it yet. I was going to. I could put the translation in and then I send it to you. Yeah, I'll try to keep each week. We'll try to do a new one, and because we have so many wonderful songs, Vaishnava songs, and we used to sing a lot now, and we don't anymore. At least not here. So I wanted to introduce that again. Oh well, I have a projector also. But usually we only have one or two devotees, so I didn't bother to bring the projector and everything. Oh no, that thing no. The projector used to be hanging up there. That's no more. No, not for a long time. The projector got killed by a lot of dust that accumulated on it. Yeah, I have my own projector. I bring it when there's festivals and there's more people here. But so then, or unless this is not good enough to see. If the screen here is not big enough, we could try that, but it's just more paraphernalia I need to bring to the temple, like that. So we'll see. Yeah, it's the same idea. It'll display whatever's on the computer screen. Okay. Yes.
Actually, the simple activities, to commit simple activities on the strength of chanting Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on this?
Yes. So by chanting Hare Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna is very purifying. So we were constantly getting purification from past sinful activities just by chanting Hare Krishna. Right? But if someone thinks that okay, this is a good deal here, I'll chant Hare Krishna in the morning, then I'll go out in the afternoon and do all my things I like to do, against regular principles, and then tomorrow morning I'll chant Hare Krishna again. It clears the slate. Okay. But if someone is thinking like that, that's a big offense. Taking advantage of the holy name to so you can keep committing more sinful activities, and the result of doing that is that the effectiveness of the chanting will be, it'll become ineffective, which means you could go on chanting and chanting and chanting and chanting, but because of those kind of offenses, then you won't really give you that purification. Yeah, the intention. If there's some accident, something happens, then we can get purified. But if we're already planning like that I'm going to commit sin, and then I'm going to chant Hare Krishna to get rid of it, and so I can go back and commit more sin, then that is big offense, and it'll be bad for our spiritual life. That's it. Oh, Srila Prabhupada says that the spiritual master purifies more than the Ganges. Madhuha said. Well, is that a question or a statement? Yeah, Srila Prabhupada says that the spiritual master purifies more than the Ganges. well, I don't remember exactly that statement, but I know this. I know this says that um, yeah, Ganges River, which is a holy river in India, it is very purifying. But Srila Prabhupada does mention that after repeatedly bathing, you get so much purification. So, um,
That's a song by Narottam Das Thakur. A song
uh-huh.
by Narottam Das Thakur. Say Gangara Parasa Gurule Pashyate Pavan Darshane Pavitra Koro Itumaragam. Say that Vaishnava is so powerful that Gangara Parasha Holy Pashyate Pavan, that after bathing many times in the Ganges, we can become safe, purified. So Darshane Pavitra Koro Itumaragam, just by seeing just once, all sins flies away.
Mm. Yes. So that's. I don't know if you. I don't know if.
Just by darshan, by taking darshan of a pure Vaishnava, just by seeing him, all sins fly away. You are purified.
Yes. So all sins fly away. All the sins fly away by seeing such a pure devotee, spiritual master.
By seeing him once.
Just by seeing such a personality, all sinful activities go away. Whereas by repeatedly bathing in the Ganges, you can get the same result, but repeatedly bathing. So yes, that's a fact. That's a fact. Um, Anyone else? Okay, so we will end here for now, and tomorrow he's back on Srimad Bhagavatam again tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada.